Welcome to Waka Wednesday on Heian Haven. I'm Dawn. Today I get to combine my love of costume with my love of poetry. Our poems are from Chapter 12 of the Genji Monogatari, Suma. While I finally settled on examining the poems that involve clothing for this Waka Wednesday, it was not an easy choice. This chapter has a number of poetic themes. Melancholy, loss, migratory birds, the sea, exile, and the moon are just a few. We're going to examine a handful of poems from Chapter 12, as well as two quotations of poems, one from the Kokinshu and another from Sugawara no Michizane. I've transcribed the text of the poems from each of our translators in the description down below. Let's set the stage. In our first poem, Genji is trying to comfort Murasaki. He is preparing to leave the capital for Suma, and she is absolutely miserable and attempting to hide her tears. Genji says, "I know that we shall circle round and meet again," quoting a poem by Kino Tomonori as reassurance. This is Washburn's translation. "Though our paths must diverge, I know that, like the ends of an obi, we shall circle round and meet again." What a lovely sentiment. The most common bit of clothing referred to in poetry, not just in this chapter, but I would wager the entire tale: sleeves. Not a whole garment, but the sleeves of any garment. And these sleeves are wet, damp, drenched, and soaked by tears, or representations of tears, such as seawater, think briny sleeves. Damp sleeves in poetry are ubiquitous. When a person is doing their best to share their feelings in poetry that frequently settles on the tragic beauty of life, is it any wonder that there are sleeves that never dry? 4 poems of the 48 in this chapter mention sleeves. But the first to mention sleeves focus on the cut of the sleeve rather than its being damp or not. In this scene, Genji has come to say farewell to Hanichiro Sato at the Villa of Falling Flowers. As the moonlight reflects off her dark purple sleeves, she composes this poem. This is Tyler's translation. "Narrow they may be, these sleeves of mine, that welcome the face of the moon. Yet I so long to detain that light I shall always love." Hanichiro Sato is referring to her low status in relation to Genji's by saying her sleeves are narrow. In the footnote, Tyler states, "Her sleeves are too narrow, unworthy, because she believes her personal and social worth insufficient to retain Genji's affection." The other 3 poems have the previously mentioned damp sleeves, one set dew-drenched, another dripping of brine, and the third simply wet with tears. In another of those mentions, the half-quoted lines by a character, essentially the pop culture references of the time, their memes, Genji sings a line from a Chinese poem written by Sugawara no Michizane while in exile. This is Tyler's translation. "Here is the robe he so graciously gave me." Both Sugawara no Michizane and Genji took with them into exile a robe that was gifted to them by the emperor. Genji had been thinking of his brother, Suzaku. He then composes this poem. This is Washburn's translation. "My sleeves both right and left are wet with tears. Tears of bitter resentment on the one, tears of longing for you on the other." And thus we're brought back to the ubiquitous damp sleeves. He both misses his brother and resents him as emperor for having exiled him. What do you think? Did you catch any other references to clothing this week? And now my Tanka, inspired by the selection. "I think of the robes we exchanged in the moonlight before the dawn broke. The scent has long since faded as I wait for your return." What has inspired you this week? Share your poem in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to explore the Heian period of Japan with me through poetry.